I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I got my plastic Jesus sitting on the dashboard of my truck. Come hell, high water, and other things, and floods and tornadoes, long as I got my man right there staring at me, keeping me safe. I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus. Well, I attended a ceremony for a friend of mine that passed away. He was a stoner, by the way. When I arrived, it was kind of a wake and bake. Oh, I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I got my plastic Jesus. Maybe this works a little better down here. I don't know if that works. Maybe it'll work a little better up here. Maybe it'll work better if I pick it. I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I got my plastic Jesus sitting on the dashboard of my truck. I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I got St. Joseph on the dashboard of my Piper Cub. I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I've got the Holy Madonna sitting on the dashboard of my ATV. I remember when I was a kid, we'd get out of first, second, third, fourth grade early, and we'd stand out on the side of the road and wait for one of them old gasoline buses with them long hoods and a doohickey on the radiator, all chrome and such. And we'd climb on that bus and we'd ride a 2, 3, 4 mile over to the Catholic church, and we'd be interrogated by the nuns. No, really, they'd be teaching us a catechism. They were like rules, the do's and don'ts. Everything was a sin, you know. And one time there, over in school, in grammar school, we were all told we needed to leave the building. And that was on a Monday, the same day that we'd go to catechism. And I'm having a brain cramp right now. Not really, I'm just thinking how to put this together the most neat and succinct way. Succinct, that ain't even a word. Yeah. So we were out on the recess, and the teacher told us that refrigerator down in the custodian's room sprung a leak. And my daddy had told me that them old refrigerators with that big round thing and all the coils on the top, they were ammonia refrigerators, and if they leaked, it would kill you. And I figured I was gonna die. I was convinced I was gonna die. I mean, I was just about 6 years old, 7 years old, and whatever Daddy told me, that was rock solid gospel. And well, that time in the afternoon came on Monday, and we climbed on that bus. And I remember the other things happening on that road. There was a big chain drive truck that had solid rubber tires, but that was an aside. I arrived at my catechism class over at the Catholic Church, Sacred Heart it was. The thing was built like a big cathedral. Man, them Catholics must have had plenty of moolah. And the nun said, "Why are you crying? Why you got tears in your eyes?" And I told her that Daddy had told me I'm gonna die because the ammonia refrigerator. And she gave me a plastic Madonna. I still have that plastic Madonna sitting on the dashboard of my car. I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I got my plastic Jesus sitting on the dashboard of my car. I'd come hell, high water, tornadoes, it don't matter. I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as we got our plastic Jesus protecting us. Oh yeah. Did I ever tell you about going to confession in the Catholic Church? Yeah. And all them stained glass windows, all them pretty ladies, and all them half-naked men and such, and that guy up on the altar hanging on a cross there. Only thing he was wearing was a loincloth, and oh man, did he look good. He had a better physique than me. Now you know, carnal knowledge is a mortal sin, and I'd go to confession so I could go to get my communion the next day. I could barely make it out of that church. Yeah, my corduroy pants would be rubbing up a storm there and chafing me all the way. And I'd be going, oh, if I don't look at these stained glass windows and I don't look at that guy on the cross and just kneel there at the altar and say my penance, then I can go to First Communion the next day. But it don't work that way. We're too human, all too human, and we have feelings. Oh, all that wood in that church there, them wooden pews and them wooden crosses and them carved wooden half-nude figures, and I think it was a setup for failure, to be honest with you. And then I heard what the priests do in their spare time with the altar boys. Yeah! Then I remember them priests there. Yep, I'll tell you about them priests. I always remember this at church when I was getting my communion, and I'm like, should I really get communion? I've had some feeling, some carnal knowledge, and don't touch yourself here, man, because that's a sin. And if anything happens to leak out, you're killing a human being. That's what they had told me. So the first time that happened was the last time it happened for a long, long time, because you can't go around here, man, killing human beings in no matter what form they are. Death is death and life is life. I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus. Lost my train of thought there somehow. I'll tell you about it. The Higgs boson walked into a Catholic church and the priest said, "You can't be here." And the particle replied, "You can't have Mass without me." Trying to figure out a way to end this. Oh, I know, maybe if I do this. This always works. I know I left something out of that story, but I don't recollect what it really was. Those were the days of mumbly peg, slingshots and bows and arrows and running around after school day and night. And the only thing that Mom and Pa would worry about is whether or not you made it home for dinner, and after dinner you'd go out and play. More mumbly peg and spread eagle and stuff like that, and baseball. Remember when that hardball came? Couldn't quite see it, and then it hit me in the nose. Oh yeah, ammonia-filled refrigerators, and those were the days back in the 40s and 50s where men were men and Jesus was Jesus, hanging on the cross. And I don't care if it rains or freezes, long as I got my plastic Jesus hanging on the dashboard of my car. I don't care if it rains or freezes, come high water, tornadoes, floods, volcanoes. Ain't got nothing to worry about, long as I got my half-nude plastic Jesus hanging on a cross. Hanging on a cross. They say in that altar at Sacred Heart, they had a sliver of the cross that Jesus was persecuted on. I used to believe that kind of stuff.